Soulbound is the indie animated series brought to us by the YouTube channel Over Coffee Production, written and directed by Jeff Sterling, along with Gabby DePaul. I was approached by them to do a full review of their show on my YouTube channel, and I said, no problem. Then they said, be honest. And I said, oh, big mistake. Now, I am nice. Contrary to popular belief, if you can believe it, I do not like being mean for no reason, but there are things that give me reason to be mean. So when I'm presented with a project that looks and feels like it had so much passion and drive poured into it, I'm not gonna be mean, no matter how hard I try, but I was pushed to do this. So please, don't come for me. Soulbound is an indie award winner, believe it or not. It came second place in the Indie Gathering 2025 Film Festival. We have an award winner on our hands. Oh my goodness. Now, first looks first. Yeah, looks kind of rough. The intro had me going, okay, this could have been edited a lot better. But the story is interesting, which is saying a lot now with all this AI garbage being shoved down our throats, that I miss just watching something and going, I'm confused. Tell me more. And I have been told more. Now, if you watch the first 3 episodes on your own and you're like me, you might still be so lost. So before you even go and watch it, which I should say you should, and then come back to this review. But if you want to watch this review and then go watch it for yourself, either or is good. But the main premise is that we have these characters that are trapped in another dimension, another realm, the spirit realm, if you will. And they're being tortured by these like cat deities, I don't know, and everything is just so interesting. Like, I like the personality of the characters. Gun to my head, I cannot remember a lot of their names. Give me a second. Thankfully, they wrote it in the description of the video. Okay, we have our characters Lupe, Sonkero, Frostbite. I like Frostbite, the bear. They're hysterical. Nekrina and Nightshade. Now, Nekrina and Nightshade, I'm pretty sure are the cats. I could have sworn there were 3 cats. Am I hallucinating? Oh no, it's just 2. God. A lot happens, I swear to you, in these 3 episodes. So the 3, the knight, the cat boy, and the bear are in this like spirit realm, and these cat things are observing them, basically toying with them, and they're giving them like trials and tribulations. The first episode, we have the main characters go into this evil forest to escape. Now, the night girl, she's like pretty badass. She can do things on her own, but she's trying to help the cat boy. And I don't know, there's probably something there. I kind of low-key ship them, but I can't even do that because one of the cat deities, who had all the animation budget of episode 1 to given to her, oh my god, she has interest in him. I cannot. What is that? What am I saying? Am I saying words? The show is so interesting, but I also feel there is a severe lack of focus because it's bouncing around and sometimes I'm like, okay, where am I? But at the same time, I feel like that's the intent. I'm supposed to be confused. I'm supposed to not know what's happening. I want to talk about the elephant in the room, which is the animation. But did you know episode 1 was made on a budget of $3.99? $0. Everything was made with blood, sweat, and tears. And then episode 2 and 3 were made with just a couple $100. And I'm like, okay, so I'm the asshole. But I swear to you, the change in animation style almost gave me an epileptic seizure. I was like, okay, what is happening? Things are, if the first animation style we got was the same all the way through, it'll be better. But one moment things are fluid, the next moment things are choppy, the next moment things are simple, and then we go all the way to stick figures, which I'm not knocking you. Again, a budget of free is free. But I don't know. I think I my ADHD. I think I was almost getting a headache at a point because it was like, okay, the lack of consistency is worrying me, but I still have to keep in mind, girly pop. This was made free. People are here putting down payments on houses to get like an NSFW music video of themselves made with someone else. Calm the fuck down. It's fine. I guess that's the best thing I can say. By the time I reached episode 3, I can actually tell who animated what shot. I don't know how the production is going behind the scenes, but if there was maybe a more character models, and I was gonna say 3D environments, but I was like, bitch, 3D is expensive, you know this. But again, I'm not in the production seat, so I don't want to tell people how to do their own things. God knows I don't even know how to do my own thing. But the biggest hurdle I can see the general public having to engaging in this show is the art style. It's just unfortunate. If I was ever going to give anyone advice in starting a show, the two things you have to make sure you allot a lot of money to is how it looks. I personally will give all the money to writing, because writing can be good and things can look shit and people will still watch. Because even here, even though I feel like, okay, the writing could be a little bit better, but it's good enough that I watched the whole thing and I'd love to know more. And because I have backdoor access, I can tell you a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes. Because again, the show really is trying to confuse you, but I think that is a feature, not a bug. The main themes of the show are all about these philosophical and existential concepts, because souls, alternate plane of reality, you know this. It's finding yourself and reconciliating with probably why you're here, what you're doing. Episode 2 had this whole bit where the badass person, who I'm assuming is a girl because there was this whole bit of like, what's your gender? None of your business. And they got the cat deities were trying to distract them. I don't know if the deities are trying to kill them or help them, but I think they're trying to kill them or trying to prove a point. And even the cat deities, in episode 3, we find out that, oh, there's somebody above them. And this whole thing, okay, to get to this point, I need to explain. There is a little bit of, when I say drama, because of course there is, where people think, oh, this show is copying the Amazing Digital Circus because a group of souls are trapped somewhere. But I was given proof that this show had actually wrapped up production by the time the Amazing Digital Circus released episode 1. And I'm not going to hold a gun to anyone's head and say, hey, your show is too similar, because even the people who created Soulbound felt, oh, there are some scenes that were too similar to, the Digital Circus, and they felt, oh, they were going to get accused of this thing, and they even call themselves like Timu Digital Circus. That's in good fun. Hell, they're even gonna get the voice actor of the voice actor of Gangle to appear in episode 4. So hype for that. But I'm not gonna hold a gun to their head and say, hey, you are too similar to this thing, copycat, when we have shows from Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon coming out at the exact same time that are also way too similar for their own good. Shit happens. There is no new ideas under the sun. But where Gooseworks took inspiration for her show from I Have No Mouth But I Must Scream, Jeff took inspiration from Plato's Cave, which I love. I love that concept so much. I wish somebody would bring something like that. I think I've talked about it a lot in some of my videos. So to see that be attempted, because it's not an easy concept to try and bring to life, has me so excited, which again, I felt like, okay, that's why I had a sort of spark or attraction to this show, because the characters are in this astral plane, but they're getting fucked with these cats in another plane, but there's another plane above the cats. So I'm guessing the main characters have to escape the cats who are trying to fuck around with them to go to heaven, basically. I like it. Am I confused? Yes. Am I kind of iffy on things? Yes. But I like it. I want to see more. And I guess that's the biggest reason why I said yes to reviewing the show, because I know my audience. Y'all also just want to watch cool shit and you don't really care a lot for how it happens. We have been being fed unadulterated shit for so long that we have 3 or 4 shows we tend to rotate, and one of them pisses us off on a season-to-season basis. So I really do want to say, if you want to watch something, here's Soulbound. It might be iffy, it might be confusing, but it has a lot of heart and a lot of passion. There's a lot of growing pains, but everybody has had to start somewhere. And I have to commend people who sit down and say, I'm gonna do the thing and get it done. If I was going to give any advice, if they care for the advice, they could just throw it in the garbage, because again, they have a show, I don't, so who am I to speak? But if they were gonna listen to me, I would say the biggest thing, since now you have a little bit more budget, is just have a cohesive art style. For the love of God, have maybe 1 or 2 artists. If they're gonna take a while to get it done, let them take a while to get it done, or maybe bring somebody to help them. Have them be like an animation director, so everybody draws the same or does the same thing. Because in my own minimal, and I mean minimal role of production, I try to make sure that the art is cohesive from beginning to end. If I have to use the same artist for the whole thing, I will. And the writing needs to make sense. I know we want people to pick up on the little clues and Easter eggs and see things here and there, and I like doing that, but hell, I'm a nitpicker. I told myself I'm not going to nitpick any animation errors in this entire thing, except for the one at the beginning with the bee clipping through the flower, but that's the only one I'll say. The general public needs their hand to be held to an egregious degree. You know that thing of, just think of the dumbest person you know? The average public is dumber. So if you have to explain things to them, you have to, even if you want to keep it a secret that a 6-year-old could figure out. For the love of God, people were confused that Gabriel was Hawkmoth. I am still surprised by that. It's the same character model, guys. Please. So if you can just dumb things down and make it simpler to digest, if you have to explain things to the audience, that's okay. But just try not to over-explain. Again, it's just something you have to feel out. I've been a fanfic writer for 15 years. I have my own biases when it comes to writing that I have to shove to the side. Because there was this one little scene at the beginning of episode 1 where the night-looking character said something, we need to go to the evil forest. And I was like, you could have just said, hey, get up, we gotta go. And that just creates intrigue. Okay, where are we going? What are we doing? And then the other guy says, the evil forest again, or something like that. Just don't have one character info dump everything, but at the same time have a back and forth that creates a narrative. And also, final little nitpick. Scenes hold on for way too long. It took 2 minutes for the show to get going. I know we were trying to create a peaceful, calm atmosphere, but my brain, I was so bored. I had to watch this on like 1.7 to 2 times speed. And the show was amazing at that. But there are just some scenes, I understand like artists took time to make these background and these assets, but I always go back to other shows like Hell of a Boss, where just try and compare other pilots and see what has happened in the first minute to 2 minutes of their show, and then compare it to your show and realize, we haven't done much but maybe show 3 images. But there have been shows, I think it was James from The Odd Ones Out, where he had an artist make this very intricate, beautiful background that only showed up on screen for like 10 frames, and it still helps the overall video. Even though people aren't going to see it for long, it creates impact. But holding people hostage to watch one thing is almost to the detriment, because it's like, okay, I've seen it. You would be surprised how quickly the human brain can pick up, assimilate, and digest information. For the love of God, I see background errors all the time that are just on screen for like a frame. And if somebody really likes what you showed, they will rewind and they will go back and pause. But holding these scenes for so long is just not good. But then again, that's just a real problem with episode 1. But episode 2 and 3 specifically, I kind of felt like, okay, I need to slow down the speed of the video. So they kind of got good on the pacing. But again, everything is just a learning curve, and you can see they won an award, for God's sake. What the fuck do I know? What right do I have to criticize this? You know what? I'm just a hater. Ignore me. Everything is perfect, and I like the show so far, and I look forward to seeing more episodes. And if you in the audience are watching this, maybe you have watched it or you're going to go watch it, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below about anything I've said so far. And thank you again to Over Coffee Creations for reaching out and asking for this public humiliation ritual. I can't. Oh my God. I can't take anything seriously. But thank you. I really do. I'm honored for you to do this. I don't know how to end this video. Thank you. You're doing awesome, sweetie. You have great things ahead of you. Ignore the haters. They're just haters. But yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video, do all the fun stuff, drink some water. Don't forget you are loved. And don't forget to check out Soulbound if you haven't. But yeah, bye.